Tonight we are all about budget rums, but this did go a bit peaked on because when I had the idea, I thought, you know what, I'm going to stick to sort of like try and keep it to £20 rums. And actually, what I did was keep it more 27, £28 rums because there's a huge difference between trade price and like normal public price. So I was kind of like, oh, but then I saw sort of 4 rums and I was like, do you know what? I really want to try those 4 rums. They're decent brands. We kind of see them all the time. So, well, sort of. And I thought, do you know what? I really want to do it. So tonight we are going budget rums. We're going to see whether we can sip budget rums. But I think tonight it's going to be more about mixers. So I've got the fridge stocked with the favourite mixers, you know, the Pepsi, the Gingers, my dregs of the Stratford sodas. And before I even look at the comments, I've just seen that before. No doubt someone's already told me, but there we go. The lights, I haven't charged the battery, so they might die. So that's going to be a bit of fun tonight, isn't it? A bit of fun. We've got rid of the geeks for the evenings. You know, the geeks kind of, I don't want to spend like £20 on a rum. So we've got rid of the geeks. There's no geeks now. It's all the fun people tonight. So let me see who's in the house. Claire is back with us after copping a strop and leaving us yesterday. Who else is here? Chris, Windy, Andy B, Pam, Ian, Roy, Jake, Katie, Paul and Nerd. Hello, Paul and Nerd. Paul, are you really a nerd? Are you like Pam? Pam claims she's high maintenance. She's really not. She's a pussycat. But like, so are you really a nerd, Paul? Let us know. Anthony, hello. What else have we got? What's going on here? What's Windy not trusted in Discord? Oh, Daquiri to start the evening. So I don't think we're waiting for anything. So I'm just going to sort of crack on and do whatever. Because do you know what, right? When it comes to rum, when it comes to mixers, like the actual budget rums, you know, yeah, Havana, I don't even think I've got it on the flipping bar anymore. Yeah, I have. Like, here we go. Let's get the culprits out. Let's get them out. Right. Havana Especial. What else have we got? Have we got, what else would you do? Mount Gay Eclipse. That's got to be down here somewhere. I don't know. Where's Mount Gay Eclipse? Mount Gay Eclipse is somewhere. Appleton Estate is somewhere. I don't know where they're flipping. Oh, that's got to be Appleton, isn't it? Right, that's the 12-year-old. I don't know. You know, it looks like that one, isn't it? But when we're talking about sort of cheap rums that people buy for a rum and coke and all that sort of stuff, these are your typical sort of, you know, go-to culprits. But especially in the UK in this day and age where you can get next day delivery, where you've got Master and Malt, Whiskey Exchange, Amazon, you name it, multiple other sort of places. Can we do better than this sort of stuff? Nothing against that, but can we do better for roughly about the same price? Or maybe a couple of quid more. So, just to give you a rough idea, like trade prices, these are all roughly about £25. But when I logged out and I kind of looked at that, we've got a 27, a 20. So I've got a 26, a 27, a 28, and a 31. But a 31 has gone up as well. So yeah, that's what we've got tonight. So it should be a bit of fun. Right. Hello, Alho. Alho. I promise to keep the swearing down to a minimum for you tonight. Alho got a bit offended at the swearing in the video. Captain flipping Morgans. That was funny, wasn't it? Oh, that's a good daiquiri. Do you know what? I was like, oh, I'm in a rush. So I went with the Barcello. It's not a bad daiquiri, actually. I just went with the standard Barcello. So, it's up to you how we kind of roll it tonight. I know there's a few that can't make it. This wasn't actually well subscribed to, this one. Because I generally think people, my membership, they're kind of, well, they think they're beyond like £25, £30 rums now, most of my membership. So, you know, not many people got involved. But we've got a few. We've got about sort of 9, I think it is. 1, 2, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, we've got 9. 9 of them got involved. You know, pretty pathetic, but hey ho. If you've got expensive taste, if you think you're well down your rum journey, that's up to you. If you want to get to geek level, that's absolutely fine. Right. So, for those of you that haven't seen it, it wasn't me that was swearing. It was Paul Fads, but he was swearing. It was Captain Flipping Morgans. That's what it was. That was quite funny. Right, I think I'm definitely going to be Dan's PA tonight. Got a cold, so I don't think my tasting notes are going to be on point. And I've heard winds that you're bottling now, Katie. Is that right? Stratford Soda's coming back finally. Right. Oh, Daquiri to start the evening. So, I've got mine ready. I think we should crack on with letter A. Let's get my WhatsApp for those of you that it's quite funny, isn't it? Right. The last you can see that little notification down the bottom there, right? I give you two guesses who that's from. It's on YouTube and it's a comment to a poll I put out earlier, right? Also, I'm not even going to click into it. I can see the first 5 words. It's from Big G, and it says, "Prefer to leave my mixers in the supermarkets." Geeks, rum geeks. Seriously, what is it? Right. So, 50% bottled. Happy days. Stratford Sodas will be back in the house very, very soon. That's what we like. Can you see? Look, I'm running. I've got some hedgerow because it's flipping. You know, it's the worst one you do. Let's be honest, Kate. I'm joking. No, I've got a hedgerow. I've got a couple of bottles in the fridge. I've got one of everything in the fridge, so we're ready. So, this is letter number A. So I would urge you guys, those of you that have got it and they're playing along, I would urge you guys to kind of have a little sip neat if you want. You should have enough because you can do like whatever your favourite mixer is, rum and coke or rum and ginger or rum and Stratford or whatever. You should have enough just to do like tiny sort of like 10, 15 ml samples of your favourite mixer. But have a little try neat. Anyway, we're going straight on to A. So this one, I've never had this one before. This one has I'll be honest, I've never had all 4 of these. How do you get the tasting rum samples? Before we crack on, should we do this? So, what I've got, Anthony, let's put Anthony, let's give Anthony a couple of minutes of fame. So what we've got in the old membership community, which I have just outed to the general population now as well. But in my membership community, we've been doing these Sunday night taste-alongs for quite a while, and I love them. Now, obviously, they're not blind to me. I know what they are, and that's absolutely fine. But my whole mission, what I'm all about, is trying to get rid of people's perceptions about what rums they like and what they don't like. I want people to be able to kind of find their own journey without any outside influence. All right, I want people just to kind of go, oh, I like that one. I like this one. What is that? I'd buy that. Without the pretty labels, without pretty bottles, without other people's thoughts and opinions of whether they should like a rum or not. So that's what these sort of Sunday night sessions are all about. It's all that. I try and do different themes. Now, to get involved, to get these at sort of the cheaper price is what I'm going to be doing from now. And it was members only, and it's sort of standard price. If you're a member of my channel and then come into Discord, it was a members only sort of perk. However, what I'm going to do from here on in, and then I haven't got a next one scheduled yet because I've got a few. We've got Easter. I'm not here for Easter. So it means Craft Rum Club is postponed by a week, and then we've got Stratford Soda cocktail mix along. So we're going to be probably a month from now until we do the next one. But what I'm going to do is membership get priority, and they get their membership discount price. And then if there is any left, I will then open it out to the general public. So that's how we got the general sort of population of that. So that's how we're going to roll it. But first and foremost, so you don't miss out, it is a membership perk. So you just click the join button on any of my videos on the channel homepage. Just click join, and then you don't have to come into Discord. It is thoroughly encouraged to come into Discord because Discord is fun. We've been having lots of banter this last week in there, and I've kind of rearranged Discord so all the rum chats are now open to the public as well. There is a membership area, of course, but even the public Discord is like, you know, it's a lot more sort of used now because I've put the rum chats out there. But come in there, £5 a month. And then you can have banter, loads of fun, loads of banter, get involved in this sort of stuff, and you can go from there. So that's how you can get involved. All right, right. Oh, I've just put Katie on. Right, there we go. So that's that. I'm guessing the size of that pour The rum is under 30 quid. I've just got these because I'm going to use this to pour into tasting glasses to get rum and coke and all that sort of stuff. I'm not guzzling all that neat. Christ, being out of stock. We're drinking neat tonight. Katie, I can highly recommend cola. Katie. Right, not having a shot of OFTD first tonight. Black tot and ginger beer at the moment. Nice. Got no mixers now. And not buying any as Stratford sodas should be with. Yes. Boom. Right, went with a swig of 3 stars, but thought it was mild. Right, flying visit. How's it going? Hey, Karen. Hello. Hope everything's well. Right. So I might just polish my daiquiri off first. I think every live stream should start with a daiquiri spill. We should do a toast, shouldn't we? Everyone should get daiquiris, and then we should do a little toast, and then we should just finish the daiquiris and then get on with it. Oh, flipping love them. Oh, happy days. That was a Barcello daiquiri. Really good. Really, really good. Right, let's put that down there. So the first one, get some soda water. So the first one, have a little smell, have a little smell, have a little whiff, have a little taste. I know little to sweet FA about this rum, other than its place of origin. I've got no idea how long this rum's been around. Judging by the label, I'd say the rum's been around for quite a while. I wouldn't call it a modern label. I would say it's a label out of the 80s and 90s. But it's a new bottle, let's put it like that. So, but I'd say the rum, the brand has been around for a long, long time. So I've got no idea. So I've not smelt any of yours when I was drowning them up and sent it. Yeah, this I agree with that, Pam. There's absolutely loads of vanilla on here. Would I get the place of origin off that? Don't think I would. I don't think I'll be able to nail the which might give a game away. Wood and vanilla. Wouldn't describe it as pleasant. Raisins. I'm not going to bother with your. Well, you can do. If you want to give it maybe a 4.5. If you want to give it a score like Roy will, I'll quite happily make notes so you've got a reference point so you can ask me further down the line. But I'm more interested in whether you would like it as a mixer or, I wouldn't personally. I wouldn't look at any of these 4 and think, oh, these are going to be great, neat sippers. But what I am curious is, would they be great cocktail rums or great mixer rums? That's more what I'm curious about with these. So I'm just going in. It's not unpleasant. Roy's put TCP. I wouldn't say I wouldn't get the TCP on there. It's not my favourite neat experience, but it's certainly not terrible. Scott's all right. There is a little bit of banana in there. Has it a sailor on the label? No, it doesn't. It doesn't. I have to say, this is a very famous. You will have heard of the brand, or mostly the vast majority of you would have heard of the brand. Let's put it like that. I'm pretty sure there's nothing here tonight you won't have heard of, but I'm pretty sure that none of you will have bought the bottles before. All right, that's kind of where I'm going. Butterscotch, something dirty on the aftertaste. I'm on one nostril to now, found it out. Okay, I'm kind of interested. I'm going for. I'm going to go for Pepsi and ginger on these. The ginger. Let's just see how we go with this. Like a little bit in there. An ice cube, because we do an ice cube. Hang on, let's do the second one as well. That'll be all right. So Pepsi, 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 Pepsi. Who's that? Hello. I need to say right. Spell your name phonetically. This guy. I'm going to call him Hank. Hank Bonk. I'm not sure if that is your real name, but the Hank. I'm just going to call you Hank until you tell me otherwise. Has been commenting loads on videos recently. Loads of different videos. Just been going down my rabbit hole. So welcome to the gang. Welcome to the clan. I think you're in Russia. Is that right? I think you're in Russia. Right. Rum, this rum and a Pepsi Cola. Yeah, that's all right. Hank Bonk. How else do you say that? It's blatantly not how you say that, but you know what I'm like. I've had worse rum and cokes. Hey, hello, my friend George. How are you? I've definitely had worse rum and cokes. That's all right. It's all right. It doesn't strike me as, some of the rum and cokes that I have behind me, like, oh wow, that's really good. It doesn't sort of leave me with that kind of thing. But let's go rum and ginger ale. Oh, let's get rid of Hank. Hank's had enough bonks. Russia, there we go. Look, he's in Russia. He's in Russia. Russia. I was kind of, so he's commented a couple of times on videos about like rums he can get and rums he can't get out there and bottle shops and all that. I'm kind of fascinated by that. Right. So, salute. Hello, Ganimal. Right. Ganimal, did you get this? No, you didn't get this, did you? Oh, I prefer it as ginger. Oh, that's quite nice with ginger, actually. I like that as rum and ginger. That's quite nice, actually. Again, I'm not convinced it would displace anything that I really, for me, no, it's my sort of all-rounder. It's not going to replace the Plantation Gran Añejo. It's not going to replace the Barbados. It's not a world beater. Let's put it like this. And the price of this we'll kind of discuss in a bit. But it's all right. It's okay. I'll give you the price point now. I think that's only fair. The price of this to your price, this is the most expensive one, and it shocked me because there is a difference between the price that I paid and the price it's listed at now. This is coming out at £31 now, and I was trying to keep this to 25, but it's a brand that I really, really wanted to try, and I thought, you know what, they probably will produce good liquid at that price point, so I kind of went with it. It's all right. It's not shocking. I think Roy's giving it a 4.5. I'll write some of these down. If you want to give me your scores, go for it. If not, don't worry too much. Roy gave it a 4.5. Roy, Dan's giving it a 4. I'm going to give it a loose 5 at the moment, a very loose 5. I'm going to see what else comes out here. I don't think it would go higher than a 5 for me. So basically, what I think by scores is like 7 and upwards you would buy. 5 and 6 you would drink if you were out in a pub or bar, and that was an option. And they didn't have a great selection, but that was an option. 5 or 6. And then under 5, so your 4s and 3s, you drink it to be polite, and then your 1s and 2s you'd probably avoid. You just wouldn't drink it. You just wouldn't. You just go no. So for me, it's a 5 at the moment. I wouldn't be averse to that if it was in a pub or bar, and that was an option, and I didn't really like the other options. But I wouldn't buy a bottle. That's kind of how I'm giving it. So I'm going to give that a loose 5 at the moment. It's going down, if anyway. And it's a scores out of 10 or 100. It scores out of 10. Neat 3 with Coke 6. Claire's a 5. Okay, Claire's a 5. Stephen 36. I understand what that means. It's not bad. Vanilla. You do certainly get the vanilla coming out of that. I totally agree with what Scott says as well, the banana. I don't think I'm going to bother play with any other mixers now. I've got them all lined up in there. Your pineapple sodas, the Stratford sodas, the apple, and all that sort of stuff. I'm not going to play anymore with that. I think that's that. We'll have to call you Hunk. Yeah, we're going to call him Hunk, not Hank. Hunk. Right, Scott's going to go at 5 as well. Okay. I'll be honest. From the brand, I'm actually quite disappointed by that. I genuinely thought, out of all of these 4, I genuinely thought if any were going to wow me, it would be this one. Intriguing. All right. It's got like a burnt. I'm interested. Like when Roy says, and I get this from a few people, Nick's like this as well. I know Nick's not here tonight, but when a few people say TCP, I'm interested because that all came. Hang on, it's right here. I just need to get things. That all came out of that. Now, when you get off this the aroma kit, you get TCP off the wood and the smoke notes in there. Now, I don't get TCP, but I get wood, and I get lots of wood off that actually, like bitter wood finish, more like a burnt finish. And I'm kind of interested whether that's what people are classing as TCP, because I can't pick it. If you look at the tasting notes on this, I forget which one it is now. Hang on, can I find it? It is. It's quite early doors. Burnt rubber. That's what it is. Right, on burnt rubber. Like if you get this little aroma kit and you get the burnt rubber one, when you smell it, you're supposed to get TCP, and I don't at all in the slightest. So I'm kind of there's this thing with me where we talk about this with like sugarcane juice rums and kind of aged rums, and I think there's something in me that just doesn't translate that whole grassy herbal sugarcane thing. It just, for me, that is just like a burnt vibe. That's what I get off that. So, right, Pam's already on B. All right, Pam, you calm down, love, calm down. Pam's on a mission, look. Pam's on a mission. She got let off the leash on Friday night, didn't she? She had a mad one, and now she's off. Right, let's wash these down. I'm not drinking any more of those. That can. Right, there we go. Let's put those on there. So we can go for, if you like B, yeah, if you like Pam, you can crack on. Right, let's put that to one side. So B is a very, look at the colour of, hopefully you'll see, hang on, can we see on the white? No, you don't really see that, can you? For those of you, you can't, perhaps if I go closer, can you see that? And put that on the white. Oh, there we go. Look, there you go. Like B is really dark mahogany compared to A. Like really dark mahogany kind of colour. Now B is a brand that most of you, I'm expecting most of you will have experienced. I'm just not convinced any of you will have experienced this rum. So this is going to be quite interesting. And I know there's one person in Discord that absolutely loves this brand as well. See, I'm not getting varnish on that. I'm getting fruit. I'm getting tons of fruit off that, like dried fruit. Have I got the right one? Yeah. No, it's nothing like Bacardi 4. Absolutely nothing like Bacardi 4. It's not bamboo. Has it a sailor on the label? I was going to say something else then, but I'm not going to say it. No, it hasn't got a sailor on the label. I don't get nail varnish off that at all. I get an abundance of fruit. I actually really want to drink this one. Like really sort of plump raisins and dates, that kind of vibe. That's what I get off this. There isn't much else apart from fruit on there for me. Hang on. Let's do this. Ooh, too much. Oh, stop it. I'm kind of intrigued by this. You lot getting varnish. I'm really intrigued. Put too much in my hand there, didn't I? Let it dry off. Right. No, I don't get varnish at all. It is all fruit. It is all like rich fruit on there for me. I'm actually quite impressed by that. Again, I wouldn't expect too much. Yeah, all right. I'm going in. No, I'm definitely 100% on B. Roy's with me as well, so you know I'm happy with that. Oh, it's quite bitter. Actually, the fruit doesn't come through on the taste. It is definitely lacks substance, doesn't it? I mean, this is for what's the ABV? Okay, 40. It's varnish. That's not varnish. That's it is kind of like a burnt fruit. It's definitely fruit, but it's quite thin. To me, it tastes like White Claw of rum. Quite watery version, yeah. I actually think that could be a great mixer. I think this is actually my sort of rum and coke rum. Yeah, right. I'm going in. I don't think that's a rum and ginger ale rum for me. This is a rum and ginger beer rum, so I might get the can of ginger beer out. I've got a Katie's Stratford spiced in the fridge. I might go that route. Actually, I'm actually excited by this one for a rum and coke for me personally. Right, let's get some Stratford. There we go, Stratford. Right. I think the feistier. I don't think ginger ale. Unless if some of you are doing ginger ale at home, let me know. But I don't think ginger ale is going to stand up in this. I think this needs a more feistier sort of spice note. I think. Right. Yeah. See, that for me as a rum and coke. See, this is interesting. This is palates. This for me is a rum and coke all day long over A. All day long. Again, I want to preface this. Not my favourite rum and coke. You know, I've got at that price, which is £27. I've got equally as good and better rum and cokes behind me. I know that. But that is leaps and bounds better than A for rum and coke. Yeah, I would quite have. So this is interesting actually. Would I buy a bottle? Oh, no, I've already done that. No, already done this. Right, let's go for Stratford Soda Spiced. yeah, it's got that profile for me. And I dare say, if you've got a ginger beer, for instance, a sweeter ginger beer, I think that's going to be up your street as well. That's again, I'll preface this, you know, not the best. I don't think it topples anything I've got behind me, but it's definitely a lot better than A for me. I will disclose that in a bit, Windy. Let's just say they are all around the 40. And that's all I'm going to say at the moment. So that for me has to go. So right, okay. So when I said A was a 5, I'm definitely going to bring A down to a 4 because this one is probably like a 5.5 for me. But it is a loads better for me personally than A. But it's not sort of I'd probably go 6 actually. I'll give it a 6 because 7 is like I would buy a bottle. 6 is I would quite happily drink that if that was the rum on offer when I went out. So I'm going to go 6 for this. That's yeah. Neat 4. Right, hang on. Loads of scores coming in here. Claire's got a 4. Scott's B over A definitely. Scott, I could have nailed that, and that's not giving the game away too much. But I would have guessed you'd like this one better. Right, 4 and 5 for Steve. 4, 5. 5.5 for Scott. Dan, I think I saw. Yeah, there we go. 5. That's fine. Roy, I think Roy put in a score earlier. Pam's gone 3.5. Wow. Okay. Jake's gone 4. Jakey's 4 down there. Jake, did you give me a score for your first one? I didn't write a score down for your first one. Jake, not Bamboo. No, it's not. It's not Flor de Carne. That would have been too obvious. I ain't that stupid, Wendy. Come on. I would quite happily have that as a rum and coke. As a 6. If that was the rum on choice at a pub or bar, I would quite happily have that. Not a question about it. I wouldn't buy a bottle to have here, but I would happily drink that if I was out. So 4.5 for A. Cheers, Jake. Pam, I didn't write a score down for you for your first one, but I'm assuming it's higher than 3.5. Did Pam give me a score? I don't think she did. Nothing. Unless you've given it a 0, if that's what nothing gives. Pam, give me a score for if you want me to make a note of it for A. But yeah, you know, I'm quite happy with that. This is the beautiful thing. Pam, it's 4. Cheers. This is a beautiful thing about rum. Rum is everyone's got a different palate. You know, you can't deny that. Some people's great rums are yes, Anthony, 27. Sorry, Katie, yeah, £27. You can't deny that. Everyone's got a completely different palate, and that's the whole point of doing these. You know, you might love one, I might hate one. There's nothing right or wrong about that, is there? Right. Not letting those go to waste. They're quite nice. Right, let's do that. Wash that up. So if you guys want to move on to C, Pam's probably already on D by now. Pam's on a mission. Right. Here we go. Let's put those down there. So C is going to be an interesting one because I have not experienced any, and to my knowledge, there are 3 rums that these guys. No, hang on, 1, 2, 3, 4 rums that I think these guys do bottle. So I'm kind of intrigued by that. This one's even darker still. Again, I'm not sure This is what we're about to try. That's C, and that's B. So this is, you know, this one's even darker. I had no idea of what colour this would come out. I will say it's already lost 2 points because of the cap. The cap doesn't close. I can't do anything with the cap now. It's a screw top, and I can't do anything with it because it just purely doesn't close anymore. So it's just like. So, right. C smells ace, vanilla, dried fruits, banana. Dan's just poured himself a substitute glass for C. Oh, yeah. Yours exploded. Right. Oh, wow. That's punchy vanilla, isn't it? Jesus. Wow. That's way more vanilla-y than what A is. Oh, I don't know, actually. I take that back. Oh, it's a different vanilla. That's the money. A is it's kind of a, yeah, it's a different different vanilla. This one is, what's that? Vanilla. I don't know. Hang on, what's other people getting here? Vanilla, dried fruits, and banana. No, I'm not. I wouldn't say banana. Definitely fruit in the nose. Vanilla and fruit. No, so it doesn't. None of these actually have sailors on the label. I don't think. Oh, hang on. Let me find out who this person is. Maybe. Maybe on the back of the bottle. I say maybe. It needs more. It needs more diving in. Right. Right. This smells really nice. I'm actually looking forward to diving in on this. Oh, see, that's got dark rum vibes. That has to be E150 in there. I mean, none of these have got an age statement on them. Oh, it's got that bitter, burnt toffee vibe. Again, quite thin. Not as thin as B. Coffee. That's a good shout, actually, Pam. Yeah, very. It's that kind of over roasted coffee. Actually, I think this is going to be a great rum and coke for me. This is right up my street for that kind of drink. And actually, I'm thinking dark rum vibes, actually. It needs a bit more body for it to be a great dark rum. Like a little bit more kind of to it. But it's not bad. It's nearly there. Oh, man. Yeah, it's not Skipper. Although that would have been a great shout. I think Skipper was on my radar, but I think a few people have got Skipper. That's why I didn't do it. And I try to stick to rums that no one has ever mentioned. That's kind of how I do this. No coconut yet, Pam. No coconut. Hey, look, I can't wait. These are going to be my mixers. This is going to be my mixer rum. If this isn't my favourite, there's something gone wrong here, because that is my flavour profile for a lot of rum and coke all day long. Hang on, not that one. Right, and that one. I wouldn't go Stratford again. This has to be the spiced. I wouldn't go Stratford citrus in this. I wouldn't go the tropical in this. This is for me the cokes, the ginger, the spiced sort of route for this. Yeah, that'll do. Right, let's go Pepsi first. And spiced. Oh yeah, that's tough call. Would I buy it? That's easily my favourite so far. Easily. Price point of this. This is the cheapest one. This is 25 or just over 25 quid. I'm quite happily drinking that as a rum and coke. Quite happily drinking that. In relation to this tasting, I would have to go 7, high 7 for this. Again, I would have to sit down with that and kind of put it against the other dark rums. I mean, it's got obviously because of the ABV as well, but it's got nothing on Plantation, no FTD. It's got nothing on Eldorado 12. That would be for this one. This would go head to head against your Myers, against your Goslings. For me, and I know I'm a bit patriotic and a bit biased, it's got nothing on Rose Mullion's Dark either. You know, Rose Mullion Dark in the UK, because they're a small UK distillery, it's like 40 quid or 38 quid or whatever it is. That's nearly a third of the, well, not a third, where are we? 2/3 of the price, if you like, sort of ish. Yeah, but that is my sort of rum and coke. I really like that. That's getting polished off. Right, Stratford soda spiced. I would say no, because that might give the game away of what this one is. That is a belter with that as well. This has to go in at a 7 for me. Maybe even a 7.5. I would genuinely consider buying a bottle of this if I had no other dark rums behind me and I needed a dark rum. Would this replace anything I've got at the moment? No. But if I didn't have any dark rums behind me, I would seriously consider replenishing this. It's got that flavour profile that just works for a mixer. Again, it's not a neat sipper. I didn't expect any of these to be a neat sipper, because I know they've got rums in their range that are neat sippers. But that's just that sort of profile that I really, really like when it comes to cokes, when it comes to... I think Ting is actually going to work with this really well, to be honest, as well. A little bit of sweetness. Right, hang on. 4.5 for Scott. Of course, Scott's got... This, Scott, you don't like... Actually, yeah, I can understand that. 5.5 for Jake. Jake's favourite. Hang on, what was that 5.5 up there? Jake. Oh, hang on, have I got two 5.5s? Oh no, that's that. Scott 4.5, Roy is 6.5. Scoring a 6 for Pam. Yeah, that's... I'll tell you what, this one's a belter actually with Stratford soda spiced. That's really good. Yeah, I'm happy with a 7 on that. Perhaps I should go 6.5. I would buy the bottle. I think I've just said this, but I would buy the bottle if I needed a dark rum and I wanted to spend 25, 26 quid on it. Knowing full well that the dark rums I do love are 30, 35, nearly £40. So if I wanted the cheaper dark rum, I think for me that's better than Bounty Dark. Bounty Dark is lovely, but it's more of a kind of mixer than what this is. I think it actually gives me more of those rum and coke vibes that I want off from Plantation OD, but then I don't use Plantation OD as a dark rum, and we had this discussion the other day. If I want a dark rum, I go Plantation OFTD because it's just 10 times better. So yeah, £25, I would. I'd consider buying that. I'm probably having a mental block against other dark rums. Is it better than Myers? Yeah, I think it is. Is it better than Gosling's? Yeah, I think it is. What other dark rums? What dark rums am I missing? Barcello. I really like the Barcello. I don't know the price of that actually. If the Barcello is about that price, this one, that could be an oil spanner in the works. If the Barcello is around about this price, I would go Barcello. Just my personal kind of thing. But I don't know the price of that. I'm assuming because it was in the Craft Rum Club, Barcello Dark's got to be a bit more expensive than 25 quid, but I don't know. Right. What's that? Don't know how long it's. You did buy a bottle? Yeah, I did buy a bottle for this, but to buy a bottle like for personal consumption, if you know. Right, 5.5 for Stephen. Stephen's favourite. Question: where did you buy these? Supermarket, Master. Katie, come on, that's a stupid question. You know everything. Where I buy everything from. That's a dumb question. I think Barcello was 34. Well, in that case, £10 cheaper. I would probably go that over Barcello, but I do really like the Barcello. That's that thing. Right. Okay. All right. Yeah, I'm all right with this one. This one I'm looking forward to. Hang on a minute. I'm keen to try this, but I'm also really, really keen to see everyone else's opinions of this. I'm pretty sure every single one of you will have had a rum from this brand. So yeah, I'm kind of intrigued by this. So this is D. So this is really, really light. So this was A. So this one here is A. Can you see that? That's how, and that was lighter than the other two. Can you see how light this one is? Hang on, we're going that way, aren't we? This one's like really light. So I've not smelt this. I've not tasted it yet. I'm waiting for someone to say it. I'm not going to say it. I want other people to cotton them. For me, it's unmistakable what that is. But there's a lovely green banana on that. Really, really lovely green banana. Like a sour apple as well. Like the sour apple sweets. There's that on it as well. What's the It is. Yeah, the Claire's got it. Apples. It's unmistakable what that is. But I'm really, really looking forward to trying this. Really am. So as far as I'm aware, and no, there's no pirates or sailors on this. As far as I'm aware, this will have been rested. But obviously there's no age statement on here. I don't know whether we... It's definitely seen barrels, but I cannot confirm or deny because I don't know how long it's seen barrels for. The apple. This apple is just like sour apple sweets on there. It smells like a sophisticated version of apple sours. That's what it smells like. Right, I'm going in for a little try. Oh, I quite like that. That for me. See, I think most of you have cottoned on of what it is. G's going to absolutely hate me, but that's right up my street for sipping neat. I really like that sipping neat. G's going to absolutely hate that, but I could quite happily sit and sip this. It's got like it is the apple's not there in the taste, but it's got this like sort of honeyed melon, definitely melon, honeyed melon thing going on. This is my favourite out of the four to sip neat by a long, long way. I mean, it's not even close. It is adult's version of apple sours. It's exactly what it smells like, but then taste it's like honeyed melon. Easily by a country mile, my favourite sipping neat. For me, see, this is the interesting thing. For me, it probably does, Katie and Dan, but for me, that's not a heavier ginger. For me, that's very much a light ginger, a ginger ale. So I don't think the spiced, being cinnamon forward, is going to be my thing for that. It's definitely a ginger ale kind of rum for me. And I don't. I'm going to try it in a minute, but I don't think it's a Pepsi or a cola rum for me. That for me is the lighter. That's a tropical, Stratford tropical. I've got citrus. I've got my very, very last bottle of Stratford citrus in the fridge, and that's what I'm gonna. Oh, yeah, I'm gonna do it on this one. Um, Tropical, I know tropical is going to work well in there. If this works well, that's going to work well. But yeah, I think this is where I'm going for that. I'm going to try it with Pepsi. Claire, honey, melon. Scott quite likes it. Completely different to anything I tasted before. 5, Roy. Didn't work for me. But as a sipper, 7.5. Yeah. Roy, 7.5. I'm going to give that because I don't care whether it doesn't work as a mixer because I'm quite happy having that behind me as a really easygoing session rum. And the price of this, all right, this was £28, but trade it is quite a bit cheaper, I have to confess. Is that a £28 rum though? That's the interesting thing. Ignoring the price, I'm giving that an 8. That's my favourite. But I'm going to taste it. I'm going to do it with these. 1, 2. Chopping board gone. And that one, 2. Right. So my predictions: ginger ale, yeah, all day long. I really think this is going to be. Oh, there's a lot going in there, isn't there? There we go. We're balanced out. I really do think this is going to be a Stratford citrus mixer. Yeah, there we go. Lovely, jubbly. Right. I'll do the Pepsi first. I'm not convinced by this. Might be. No. No, it's not. No. No, there's something that clashes for me. It's definitely not a Pepsi rum. That clashes. Yeah. No, I couldn't. I wouldn't finish that. On that one, that's like a 3. That is, I'm not buying that. I'm not finishing that. I don't like that as a rum and coke. But that was, that was pretty obvious for me. Right, ginger ale. All flipping day long. Line those up all night long. Oh, that's good. That is summer refreshing. That is really good. Oh, that is really good. All day long. That's the easiest drink I've had in a long while. That just glides down. That is delicious. Right, and the citrus. Right, Stratford citrus. Oh, again, that's really good. Oh, I think I actually went a bit too heavy. Let's just give it a bit more juice. Yeah. Actually, I prefer that slightly lengthened out. I think 1 to 3, but probably 1 to 4 with a Stratford citrus on that. But the ginger just glides down. 1 to 4, that's ish, give or take. That is banging. But like 1 to 2 for the ginger ale, really good. Right, I know some of you put your scores in here. We're going to do what we're going to dive into after this. We're just going to have there's probably another sort of 5-10 minutes of this, and then we'll go into general sort of conversations about rum, questions and answers, bit of banter, whatever flows for the next hour or so. Right, maybe even the last citrus in the company. I bet loads of people have got like tons of it at home. Right, 7.5 for Roy. I think I got that, didn't I? The gas has hit me now. You're going to have to bear with me for a few minutes. 5 for Jake. Right. Hopefully everyone tasted how different this is. Hopefully no one tasted D and thought that's similar to A, B, and C. Hopefully that should be the one takeaway you get out of tonight. All right. So Stephen is going 7. So Stephen's favourite. £5 a bottle. I've just seen that. Right, Scott's going 5.5, but make B a 6. 5.45 for Scott, but make that a 6. Okay, that makes sense. Scott, absolutely makes sense. 3.5 for Pam. Pam, serious question. Do you think then, judging because I know you've got rums that G has sent you as well, do you think you are steadily progressing down the more higher aged rums? Is that where you think your palate is? Because I'm pretty convinced I know where my palate is. I think I don't know whether it was in public or private, but I was chatting to G the other day about I had what was it? The new Rum JMs, sugarcane agricoles, and I thought Ash, the girl, the Queen of Agricole that did that live stream with us before Christmas or whenever it was, must have been before Christmas. I thought Ash had poured them in young to old, and I thought they were getting better and better as she got them. So she did 4 samples for me, and I generally thought she'd gone young to old, and I was like, oh, these are getting better. These are really good. And what she'd actually gone is old to young, because in her words, she always pours the best ones first. And I'd gone completely the other way. I'd gone blind. I didn't know what they were, because obviously I don't know what the marks and all that for Rum JM. They've got their names, so I had no idea of what these rums were. And I went, I was like, obviously she started me off with the oldest one, which was only like a 6-year-old. And I was like, oh, that's pretty good, and then she poured the second one, which was younger. And I was like, oh, yeah, I like that one a bit better. And then she went, and when we got down to A was like a year in a barrel. And I was like, oh my God, this is really good. But I had no idea. I just, I generally thought she was pouring the older ones first, or the younger ones to the old. So I'm pretty convinced I really do like young rum. But hey, we're all different. So I'm really interested, Pam, to see where citrus. I'm really interested, Pam, to see where your palate is on that. Right, floral with Coke. Claire's gone 4. Katie, it's the burps. That's what it is. It's the burps that came out. I'm really sorry, but yes, I did say citrus. I've also said, no one's picked up on it, but I've also said one of the brands already tonight as well. Absolutely no one picked up on it. Right. Claire's gone 4. We've written that down. Jake, question. As they're all budget rums, what are the chances of them being in pubs? So, I would say 3 of these are very easy to get for most major pub groups. Whether they actually choose to buy them or not is another matter. And I'm going by wholesalers that I know and love. Matthew Clark, LWC, Green King, I know will list these. Marston's, I know will list these, the brands. They won't be out of the realms. It's just whether the pub actually, or pub or bar, actually looks at the list and thinks we can sell that. And I don't think they would. I'll be honest, I've not even seen these in rum bars, and there's a reason for that. But yeah, I think that's the only way I can answer that. I think they could buy them. I think they would choose not to buy them because they wouldn't know. They wouldn't know whether they could sell or not. Right. So just need to scroll past the citrus. Hey, Pixie, how you doing? C is my winner. Kevin. So difficult. I hope difficult is not in a bad way. I hope it was good, Kevin. Right, can we have an interlude? We can have an interlude. Wendy, you go for a wee wee. I'm going to get the scores, and then I'll do a commercial break. How's that wee wee? Wendy, you go for that. I know it was 4 minutes ago, but you can go. Right. Just go. Take Steve with you. Yeah, Wendy, we can chat while you're on the loo, can't we? Anyone? Any other scores? No, Pam, Karen. I'm just about to do the scores. I'm letting Wendy have a little wee wee first. D isn't too bad with Bundaberg. Palette is like these days. Not sure what palette is like. Do you think the last one would be improved with a bit of age? Okay. Paul the Nerd. I'm learning my palette is all over the place. There is no pattern to what I like. Don't generally really like woody rums. Prefer Bacardi 8 to 10. But Pam, on that, we're letting Wendy have a wee. Pam, on that, do you prefer Bacardi 4 to Bacardi 8? I'm guessing you've got experience with Bacardi 4, hence you said it earlier. But so I'd be quite interested in that one. Coconut, cool. Tell you as a good rump if you what? Don't understand that. Don't understand that, Steve. Right, too unique for pubs and too cheap for rum bars. Yeah, I think that's nailed it, Jake. Oops, sorry. Oh, what's going on here? Hang on. Kevin sent me a message. I won't read it out, but I'll have a look in a minute. G, stay tuned. G, stay tuned. G, stay tuned. Just for a couple of minutes. You'll get excited. Hang on, let me just read this from Kevin. Oh well. Hope everything's all right, mate. I won't repeat that on air, but I hope everything's all right, Kev. Even G, never tried for Coconut Cartel. There we go. Right. Wendy, you let me know when you're back from a wee wee, and I'm going to do the reveals. How's that? So, as I say, G, stay here for a couple of minutes. We're going to do the reveal. You might get excited about people's opinions for one of them. And I think most people will have cottoned on to what I'm talking about now with that. the one we were talking about is by a million miles my favourite one of the evening. So that's quite interesting. So I'm just waiting for Windy. What live did you watch, Steve? On Claire sounds dodgy. Windy's back, right? Okay, let's go. Windy's the lord of the string. I'm gonna have to give him that title, isn't I? Lord of the string. I like that. Lord of the string. Right, let's go for the reveal on this. So I'm generally interested. There's, it's on reflection. There's one here that I would definitely buy, and that is D. That is the last one. I would definitely buy D. I would definitely have a bottle of that because I really do like that. C for me, as I've already explained, C I would stock at that price point if I run out of all the dark rums that I've got behind me. But if I've got any of those behind me, I wouldn't buy that, if you know what I mean. So what I've got behind me are better, but that's for the price is pretty decent. A and B are all right, but nothing to write home about for me. So hopefully that's kind of so. Let's give me some sparkling water. Right, so A. This is kind of really interesting. Really threw me. National Rums of Jamaica, and this is Monymusk. Okay, hang on. Let me get the old that one up on screen, and then we can do that. There we go. So that's what you're drinking there. That is Monymusk. No sailors on that. Label looks like it's come out of the 1980s. Monymusk, as you know, is well, as you say, it's Clarendon. Basically, Monymusk is a brand. They're not a distillery in their own right. The distillery is Clarendon, but Monymusk is a brand of that uses Clarendon rums. It's National Rums of Jamaica. That's who owns Monymusk, but it is Clarendon rum. All right. So that's what you're drinking there. Oh yeah, 40% ABV. I was intrigued by that. I'll be honest. That's the brand I said earlier, and absolutely no one cottoned on. No one said anything, but I actually said it. Yeah. Aged in oak barrels. There's no age statement on it, so it's an unaged rum, but it's been aged in oak barrels. We know that's not been adulterated because it's Jamaican rum and it's National Rums of Jamaica. So we know exactly what that is. And that was £31. Trade was cheaper. And even when I looked, it was cheaper again. It has gone up. And bearing in mind, I've had these now for about 4 weeks or so. And prices do fluctuate quite frequently. But yeah, that was, hang on. That was A. So that's A. All right. So anyone surprised by that? Hey, Elgato, how are you? You comment a lot on videos. See, that's why right. Windy's nailed this. Look, these are sort of stuff you kind of do look at and you think, oh, what is that? Should I? Shouldn't I? It's it's one that Monymusk we obviously know really well. It's not a brand that you've never heard of before. It's like quite a big brand of Jamaican rum. So yeah, Katie's nailed it. It's yeah. Right, so we move on to B, and it's not Flor de Caña, but there's a whole reason Scott loved this, and I could have nailed. Well, Scott didn't love this, I don't think. Well, Scott scores. So this was Scott's favourite. Let's put it like this, and I could have guessed this before we even went on there. It is string for Windy. It's Brugal Extra Viejo. Hang on. Oh, so let's do that. There we go. So I don't have to lean in. So we have got a bit of string, but it is 38% ABV. If I'd said 38%, it kind of would have given the game away. It could have been one of like 3 or 4 rums at 38%. So that's why I didn't say the ABV. But a bit of string, dark rum, Brugal. I do kind of like that. you know, the Brugal, hang on, let's come back out of this. The Brugal, that one there. Brugal 1888 has a lot of fans. For me, I'm not a massive fan of that. But I know this does have a lot of fans. This basically is the next one down. So or the next one up, whichever way you want to look at it. You go the extra viejo, and then you go the 1888. Difference is that's aged or rested. It's aged as it is, and then aged in rested in sherry barrels. I'm not sure which sherry. I think it's Oloroso. Probably says on the label. To be fair, it's not a sweet. I'm pretty sure it's not a sweet sherry. Let's put it like that. Don't know. Can't go off to read that. But yeah. So that is that was B. All right. String. Shocked. Glad that's not in my collection. More. I was hoping one was Cockspur. No, see, right, Pam, right, Karen. I would have loved to have done Cockspur, but I think, and rightly or wrongly, I don't know, but I just assume people would have had Cockspur because it's so easy to get. It's in every flipping supermarket. That's why I didn't do it. But that would have been an obvious one for me to do. But I just assume people would have had it because if you don't go Appleton, if you don't go Mount Gay Eclipse, you go Cockspur. It's that easy to get. So yeah, that's why I didn't do Cockspur. Logan in the house. Can't see that. Fishnet. Hang on, if I missed, is it Logan that comments on videos? What have I missed? Can't see. I don't know. I think I've missed something. Roy, I do have that Brugal. Wow, that's interesting. Okay. I do have the Brugal. I will not be opening it. Fascinating. And the best thing about it. Exactly, Pam. You've nailed what it works both ways. I want to hopefully find a gem, but hopefully, save you wasting money. It works both ways. Yeah, we'll talk about Elgato. We'll talk about or Felix, I should say. We'll talk about Abuelo in a minute because Stephen's on here. Stephen's got all the Abuelos, so we'll talk about that in a minute. Right, let's. Oh, Scott, hang on. Have I missed it? Happy birthday, Mini Scott. Sorry, I didn't realise that. Happy birthday, Mini Scott. Hope you're well. Sorry if I missed that comment. I think I did miss a comment. Right, let's go for D. Now, sorry, C. C, as I said, lost points for me because of the cap on top. It's absolutely shocking. It's a cheap as chips bottle. And I know the bottle price of this. The bottle price of this is literally about 30p. I know brands pay about 30p for this bottle because it's just standard. All right, it's just the cheap of the cheap. But the rum inside it is not too bad. And that is that. It's Blackwell. Hang on, let me do the old zoom in. Look. I can't close it. It just, it's just shoddy workmanship. Look, I can't do anything. So there's nothing I can do with that rum now. But hang on, let me do the and this is the one that doesn't have a pirate, but it kind of has a sailor because obviously he sailed. And this is for those of you who don't know the story about this. This is Chris Blackwell, the founder of Island Records. This is his. Hang on, let me zoom back out. This is his brand. So Blackwell do have a couple of decent rums. But yeah, Mr. Island Records himself. This is his rum, his blend. Island Records. I'm sure we've all got. I'm just trying to think back in the day. What would I don't know these days. It's all on Spotify and stuff like that, isn't it? But Island Records back in the day, we're talking all the major sort of bands. I don't know back these days. But yeah, that's C. So decent, you know. C was 25 quid. Wonky label too. I think they've gone for the whole plantation vibe, haven't they? On that, you know, plantation do the whole kind of funny. Look, it's copy plantation. Look, it's almost identical, isn't it? Like every bottle of the bartender range from plantation, every bottle is exactly the same. That they've all got that little lip. But yeah, it's so yeah, kind of, you know, that's that 40% ABV, I think. Don't know where it is. I'm assuming oh no, hang on, where's the ABV? Hang on a second. I'm keeping it zoomed in because I'm going to find it. Oh, right there. Sorry, 40% ABV. It is 40% ABV. All right. Right. Let's come back out there. So there we go. Again, I'm pretty sure that's a brand Pete, you guys would have seen online. It's on Amazon. It's on Master of Malt. It's on the Whiskey Exchange. You see it quite a lot. It's just for me, not one of those brands that I kind of think, oh, I'd buy that. Yeah, that you know, I literally can't do anything with that. It's just. And it had the shrink wrap, the cellophane shrink wrap around it. You know, so you know, in transport, it was absolutely fine because it had that sort of pressure behind it. But as soon as you took that shrink wrap off, I didn't even need to unscrew it. You know, I couldn't because of that, but it just pulled off. That to me is pretty shocking. To be fair. 007 is the premium sipping rum for Blackwell, and 007 is actually quite nice. I do kind of like that. And then if G, are you still in the house, G? G, just give us a thumbs up or a hello if Big G is in the house. Because I'm about to, which I think most people score, with the exception of Pam. All right, Claire went the other way as well. Most people actually quite like this. C is Clement, and it is an agricole. Oh, wrong. It is an agricole, but it's their ombre, and I'm quite happy sipping that neat. Quite happy. It's a rum and ginger beer, a rum and ginger ale. I really like it. You can sort of see that 40% ABV. Actually, it says on the back of the bottle. Sorry, I hadn't even noticed that. Look, small letters back. Hang on, I don't know whether you'll get that. Will the camera actually pick that up and focus? Oh well. Yeah, ginger. Look, that's the recommended serve. I hadn't even spotted that. But yeah, that was my favourite by a long way. I would quite happily sip that neat. £28, quite happily sip that neat. Banging rum and ginger. In fact, I'm going to have the rest of that. Although there isn't much left. Oh, well, some there, isn't there? I would quite happily have that as a rum and ginger all day long. I'm going to finish the can of ginger ale up with that. That was my star of the show. And I know, and I said, I think before you turned up, G, I said you're going to hate me, but I love that neat. I'll quite happily sip that neat. I love it with ginger ale. I think it's great. Count my grey hairs. Can you? Hang on. Hang on. Which way? I can't go side on without looking at the screen. Hang on. There we go. There we go. It's good. It's good team, innit? Good stuff for life. Right. Katie, I'm going to put some because I'm filming. I might film tomorrow, but this will be for May's videos now. I'm kind of nearly into May, so I might put some cling film on that, and because it's not that fizzy anyway. but then use that through the week. See, this is interesting. See, right, here we go, right, see, look, no, I'm going to be with G here for a minute. Like, everyone kind of gives, and this is what amused me, right? People, and when we were smelling it, before you came on, G, everyone was going baby sick and stuff like this. For me, it was nothing even remotely close to baby sick. It was just this lovely kind of apple, what do I call it? Apple sours and green melon. It was this lovely apple and melon vibes. And people are going baby sick and stuff. But then I forget who it was now. Someone said TCP for one of these. And I don't get that TCP vibe. I get burnt wood. So it's like I obviously pick out different aromas. How can I explain it? I don't pick those TCP aromas out, but in the same token, I don't pick that baby sick that people kind of go in there. That to me, as soon as I smelt it, was like I called it posh apple sours. It's a sweet because it was just lovely. There you go, G. That's one for you. Would you regard? Do you know what? Right, for me, if it's a business, I'll let G answer this in a second, or when it comes time. But for me, right, if I was on a tasting night, I would have absolutely no hesitations in cracking that out for whatever. You know, you guys watched that plantation video with Fads, right? I would have absolutely no hesitations in rocking that out, but then having maybe a can of ginger ale for people to kind of sip into. I don't think that is beyond anyone. I think that is actually a great entry. It's the first time I've had that. It is the first time I've had that. I was aware of this because of Monin, the last filming session. So we're talking before Christmas, because David dropped in a bottle, or Ash, I think it was Dave actually. David dropped in a bottle, and they did me a cocktail with this. I was like, oh, I've never seen that before. But that's my first time I've ever tried that neat. What's G saying? For this type of agricole... Oh, hang on. Wrong one. For this type of agricole, is neither fish nor fowl, but yes, ombre is one of those you would give to agricole newbies. No agricole smells like baby sick. Windy doesn't even have babies. TCP was for. See, it's fascinating. I just get this burnt. That's what I said. You know, even it's this big vanilla sort of smell off that, and like burnt rubber in the glass. I don't get TCP, but off that, you know, I don't get that agricole smell. That for me was just sour apples, which is really bizarre because if I think. Oh no, I've still got a little bit up here, I think. I've still got a little bit. So for me, right, hang on, let's put these to one side now. We can dive into Q&As now. So if you've got questions, banter, whatever, the floor is yours. Whatever you want to discuss from here on in, we will discuss. We will go with the flow. But I'm just going to talk about this for a minute because, and we are getting to the point, I've said this a couple of weeks ago, but we are getting to the point with the Saturday videos now. I think, where are we? I'm just about to film them, but I think you've got three more Saturday videos coming. Definitely St. Lucia. Oh, hang on. You've not had Guyana yet either, have you? Hang on. I'm forgetting what you've had and what you haven't had. Where are we up to? You've had Jamaica. So you've got Guyana to come. St. Lucia to come. Cuba to come. Yeah, for me filming, anyway, we're not far from what is sugarcane juice on Saturday and then going into an agricole. So it's the gas. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to devote 2 weeks. So all those 2 weeks, every video from every day on every channel is going to be related to sugarcane juice and agricole, whether it's cocktails, whether that's the mixer, whether that's a sugarcane juice spiced rum. on the Friday videos. I'm just going to do for 2 weeks. I'm going to do a whole sugarcane juice kind of vibe, just to kind of get people there. Now, you know, I have banter with G, and I wind him up because he winds me up about UK rum. So I naturally wind him up back. But, you know, I've got nothing against sugarcane juice rums. But this, for me, smells, they're completely and utterly different rums, even though they're the same rum, just aged. But that one's rested for longer. It's all it is. But that one just smells like grassy, flipping hell. Is that grassy kind of citrusy herbal thing, whereas this one, it's like amazing. It's like apple and melon. It's so different. So I'm kind of fascinated to film this. Probably be next week now when I film it. But yeah, interesting. Jake, I'm going to put you in a timeout. How do I do this? Block user from YouTube. Put user in timeout on YouTube. Right, Jake, you've got 2 minutes. If you don't rectify that situation, I'm going to put you in a timeout. Now I can't get rid of the thing. Oh, there we go. Right, let me just scroll up, and then I think there's going to be questions piling in here. Good night, Katie. Have a good one. Right, there's a few questions in here. Don't forget, right, I can pick them while it's quiet, but if you've got... where's my thing gone? Oh, no. What have I done with it? If you've got a question... Oh, hang on. Does that work? Yeah, there we go. I'm just gonna wind Windy up for a couple of seconds and leave that scrolling. Right. So let me just while it's quiet, I can kind of pick this. So where was the first one? El Gato. Does that kind of go on top? Yeah, it does kind of go. Which Falernum do you recommend the most? Right. It's really, really difficult, this one, to answer. Obviously, that is kind of like the industry standard. It's a really good Falernum. But it just depends how you make cocktails, because actually what I do really like, I like to work with syrup. And yes, you could argue that's a syrup, but it is more of a liqueur because it's got alcohol in it. What I actually like to work in is syrups. And I really do rate Monin's Falernum. And yes, I do have a close working relationship with Monin, but I really do rate that. That's actually really good because I do prefer syrups as my modifier as opposed to some liqueurs. And that's kind of like an in-between for me. If Giffard did one of those, I would imagine Giffards would be 20%, say, and it would just have more balance to it. Whereas this sort of, what's this, 11, isn't it? I can never remember. It's 11% ABV. I just think it needs either a bit more alcohol or a bit more oomph. Whereas the Monin kind of smashes it on that for how I make cocktails. So, yeah, I don't think there's a right or wrong, to be fair, on that. £7, 11, 12, £13. There is actually, I don't think I can get it. I think it's right in the back. But there is actually another... Oh, no, it's not that one. I don't know where it is. There is actually another brand of Falernum in the UK, and it's the Bitter Truth one. And that is really feisty. And it's almost too feisty to be a Falernum. It's like really heavy in ginger and allspice. So it's a bit too much for me because I don't want that profile from a Falernum. So, yeah, they're kind of my sort of works, you know, the workhorse ones. But I because of the way I make cocktails, I traditionally go for syrup and non-alcoholic. So I do prefer the Monin one. But, you know, I can't say a bad word against that because that's great. That is really good. Right, so that's that one done. I'm not answering Jake's. Jake can go. Looking forward to getting my question. I'm going to put this on screen just for a bit of bats. When's the agricole start to book a holiday? It'd be nice offline for a fortnight. I think so. It's hard to work out. It's going to be May sometime for you lot, but I'm filming it. Not well. It might get filmed Easter Monday for me, but that'll be a month from then for you guys. So I see you've got Dawley's. Hang on, I'll give this. She didn't put a question in front of it, but I said it's quiet, so I can kind of see it. What do you mean? Wow, Louis. I see you've got it since the last time. That has been sitting there since before Christmas. Four months at least. 4 months was the last time you've been here. Wow. I'm not sure I should even answer that question. 4 months? Where have you been for 4 months? So, what was the question? What's your thoughts? So for me, right, and I think people understand where I'm coming from here. For me, it is hands down better than the 12. I love the 12. The 14 is another level. However, it's not an instant grab for me to have a drink of. I really do like my younger rums, as you probably kind of gathered. You know, I like lighter rums. So while I appreciate the quality and while I appreciate that the 14 is, is the 12 with just more oomph, more flavour and all that, I get it. I love it. I do really, really like it. It's just not a rum that I instinctively go for and grab for a treat on a Wednesday night, Thursday night, or anything like that. Okay, so it's not that I'm saying I don't like it. It's just not an instant grab. I do love it. My palate is younger rums. So and this is the thing, right? So I've chatted about this before. I think I would love the Dawley's XO, but I really don't. I kind of worked out that I don't love sherry finish. I really don't like sherry finish rums. They just destroy a rum for me. So again, the XO is kind of out because because of that sherry finish. So then you go to the Dawley's 5. The Dawley's 5 is decent, but then I prefer the Plantation 5. So in the Dawley's range, that for me is the daddy, but it's not something I grab. It's not something I go, oh, yeah, I really fancy a glass of that tonight. Really fancy a glass. I really do like the younger age stuff. I will quite happily sip on white rum. White rum neat, I'm absolutely love. So hopefully it's kind of explained my palate on that. Rum geeks hate me for that, but without people like me, there'd be no white rum sales, would there? White rum, get in there. Actually, oh, sorry, I forget about that as well. I prefer that over all of them, and that's the RL Seal 10. We don't get the 12 in the UK. We get the 10. I really like that, but that's a much lighter. It's even lighter than the XO. It's a really good rum. Really do like that. So that's kind of my exception. I would quite happily grab that and have a glass of it as a 10-year-old. I've got no problems with that at all. But I do think that's a lot lighter than the 12 and the 14. It's a lot lighter for me, and this is the fascinating thing. It's a lot lighter style of rum for me and fruitier than what the Appleton 8 is. Even though it's got 2 more years in the barrel. It's just that lighter style. So I don't know what the blend is. I don't know how much column still has gone into that. And yes, obviously Richard Seal, Foursquare do have column stills. I don't know what the blend of that is, of how much column has gone into that as opposed to pot. But there's just something about the RL Seal that is much lighter and is easily my favourite rum from Foursquare. Easily. Really, really like that rum. So yeah, hopefully it's kind of explained that. Right, gee, with a few exceptions, hang on, let's put this on screen. With a few exceptions, agricole loses a very significant amount of whole grass as it ages. The older rums are very different. Yeah, Sean, hello Sean, how are you? Finally found the Appleton 8-year-old yesterday. Have tried it this evening and having trouble figuring out the tasting notes. Can you tell me what you get? Yeah, we can. I haven't opened this yet. I've restocked it. Where's my knife? I restocked this about 2 or 3 weeks ago and I haven't opened it yet. There we go. Right. Oh, we like that, don't we? We like that. Let's go down here. Let's go for a bit of Appleton 8. Let's have a little sip along with Appleton 8 for all of you that have got it. A little bit of tiny little bit of vanilla. Unmistakable. See, this is the thing. It has got that unmistakable Jamaican vibe without it being funk. So you do get that sort of banana. You do get that ester, but low ester sort of count. Funk, if you like. Like minimal, like absolutely minimal, but it is there. You don't get that aroma off Barbadian rums, off Guyana rums, off UK rums, off Dominican, off Cuban, or you just do not get that smell, that inherent Jamaican pot still smell, copper pot still smell of any other rum. It's just kind of distinctive to Jamaica. But there is vanilla. There's a little bit of toffee. It's banana first and foremost. Maybe just a little bit of coconut in the back there. Maybe I would understand if someone said glue. I kind of get that vibe off the back there. I think it's delicious. Very. Let's go tannic. Tannic banana. It's banana, but you kind of get that sort of, it clings to your gums kind of vibe, like a red wine. So tannins off a red wine, but it leaves that banana kind of vibe on your gums. Caramel, like a lovely. Bearing in mind, there's nothing added to this because it goes against the Jamaican GI. So there's absolutely nothing added to this apart from E150. Yeah, just that. It's lovely and luscious. It's got this, and that's the difference. And then, all right, 8 years, unaged, all of these that we've been trying tonight. It's just got this body to it. This lovely. Oh, hang on. It's just got this lovely sort of unctuousness. This body. This character to it. Yeah, delicious. I don't know what it says on the back of the bottle actually. Hints of honey, vanilla, signature orange peel. Orange. Don't really get the orange off it. New bottle. Perhaps I need to leave it to air for a bit. As we've discovered quite a bit, when you let rum breathe or any spirit breathe, that's when the full flavours come out. So straight out, that's just opened. The volatile substances will be there. Even probably like 20 minutes or so on that will completely alter the taste of the rum. Right. Do that. Jake. Right, Jake, question. Is it only cheaper rums you mix with, or is there expensive? I'm trying to read it properly, and I've got your spelling mistakes, my rims. So, me and Windy have this chat all the time, and I will quite happily stand here on ceremony and talk about this quite happily. Right. If anyone tells you you shouldn't mix an expensive rum with Coke, with tonic, or in cocktails, tell them to go and piss off, because it's absolute nonsense, right? The simple fact is, sorry, Al, I know you're still here, but that's the only swear word I'll drop. The simple fact is, the better the ingredients, the better the cocktail is going to taste. Now, you have to understand that the better the ingredients is all on you. I'm not going to stand here and tell you that making a cocktail with that is going to be 10 times better than making a cocktail with that. Because you might enjoy that more. And if that's the case, then your cocktails are going to taste better with that than what they are that. So it's all on your palate, all right? It's nothing to do with what I say or anyone else says. You know, so many geeks, so many reviewers, so many experts will go on, oh, you shouldn't mix this, you shouldn't mix that. It's absolute tosh. It's nonsense, absolute nonsense. The better the rum is for you, the better that finished drink is going to taste. Whether it's a rum and coke, rum and ginger beer, rum and whatever, a rum runner, a pina colada, you know, it doesn't matter. Your favourite rum, whether it's 50 quid, 100 quid, 25 quid, it doesn't matter. Your favourite rum is going to make you a better tasting drink. And that's what many people miss, okay? People think, oh, you shouldn't mix this, or you shouldn't mix, or they think I'm saying you should mix. I'm saying you should mix a more expensive rum. I'm not saying that. I'm saying the better the rum tastes to you personally, the better the drink is going to taste. For me personally, over those two, a Mai Tai is going to taste better with that than what it is that, because I prefer that. I love that, but I really love that. All right, so that's the kind of distinction you have to make. Never let a bartender, a geek, a rum expert, whoever, never let anyone tell you that you should like something over something else, because that's just putting doubt in your mind. You like what you like. Hell, look, let's bring this right down. If that's your favourite rum and you want to make a Mai Tai with that, you go for your flipping life. It might be too sweet for a lot of people, but if you love that, that's going to be your best mixing rum by a long way. So don't let anyone put you off, all right? We can all have our opinions. We can rip the piss. We can do that. You know, that's absolutely fine. But I genuinely I'm adamant about that. Never let anyone tell you that you should like something over something else. And that's what I try. So it is quite hard doing those review videos, because I will be like, oh, I really like this and I think you should do this. It's quite hard to be neutral. What I try and do on the other channel, the Rum Reviews channel, what I try and do is give you tasting notes and relate it to my palate. I don't want to give scores. I don't want to put you off that. I've had so many comments over the last years that I've never tried this before because such and such, I read it online and they didn't give it a high score, so I never tried it. But now I've bought it, I really love it. I've had so many of those comments. It's just, no one should put you off a rum. No one. Go and try them. I appreciate it's expensive, but if you're in the UK, I'm going to burp again, I'm really sorry. It's the ginger ale. If you're in my membership community, you can try before you buy. It's that simple, isn't it? So, who was that? That was Jake. Al Ho. Let's go into this. Al Ho, what rum would you recommend as a breakfast rum? I think this is a great breakfast rum. Depends what you're drinking. I'd have that for breakfast. That's really light. That's a great rum. Breakfast rum. What would I have for breakfast? I don't generally have rum for breakfast. Do you know what? Right. So my breakfast routine, I get up, I have some water, chug some water, I go out for my walk, about 5k, 5 kilometres. I'll go out for my walk. I'll come back. If I know I'm going out for lunch, I might not have anything, but I've generally got a little bit of a sweeter tooth at breakfast. So for a breakfast run for me, I would probably have to go Plantation Pineapple, because I've got that little bit of a sweet vibe at breakfast. So I'd go that. That's my that. Not too sweet, but flavor. Sorry, sweet's the wrong word. Flavour. That's the right word. Yeah, I'd sort of sit there. Not chocolate rum. I think like I'm looking at the. Sorry, it's not that one, but I'm looking at the rose mullion. I've got the navy up there. I've got their chocolate. I'm not going chocolate or spiced rum or anything like that. I think that's too much. But kind of, yeah, a sort of a fruity kind of. That's my sort of breakfast rum. Right, Pam. Hang on, I'm going to get rid of. Sorry, that's annoying me now. I'm going to get rid of that. Which one is it? How do I get rid of it? Oh, is it captions? Yes, this one. Sorry, ticker. There we go. Sorry, right. I'm getting rid of that. Sorry, Windy's probably lost his poop now. Probably get rid of that. Right, Dolly's XO is pants compared to most sherry I've tried. Yeah, I'm just not a sherry fan. Sherry rum fan. I don't get it. I know some people do. I've got nothing against that at all. I personally have never tasted a sherry aged rum, and maybe gone, wow, that's delicious. I know Windy's hating me right now, but this is the distinction I make. I love the taste of rum, and I know even Pam, I know even you are like, you want a bit more age on it to round it off. I'm the opposite. I generically, from what I've tasted, I generically just love the taste of rum. Without the aging, without the rounding and all that, yes, all right, I'll admit, there's a certain amount of aging in the 7-year-old and all that. I get it. But when you go 10, 12, this for me is a bit of an anomaly at 10-year-old. Because the other 10-year-old rums, I've tasted a lot of 6 and 8-year-old rums that are too much for me. So I don't know what barrels that's used. Don't know the blend of whether that is more column than pot. It would make sense in my head if that was more column than pot. But I don't. If Dickie gives you sorry, Dickie's never going to watch this, but it gives you absolutely no info on these rums at all. I would suspect that the seal is more column than pot influenced. I would suspect, but I don't know. But my generic style is lighter column influenced, younger aged. I think nothing of drinking unaged rums, and that's where I kind of go on that. Right, hide. I don't know where that comment's gone now. Whether I've shot past it. 2111. Am I that? I can't be that far behind on the comments. How did I get to 2111? Hang on a minute. Someone's gone Pete Tong here. I'm like 40. I can't be 40 minutes behind on the comments. That can't be right. Right, hang on. Right, here we go. Wow. Am I 20 minutes behind on the comments? Wow, Jesus. So, yeah, sorry, right, I'll try and catch up. Danimal talking about, sorry, I'm miles behind on his comments. I'm nearly 20 minutes behind. Right, Dawley's 314 are the best for me. The 3 is interesting because, again, this is the 47% ABV 3. And that is light years above the 40% ABV Dawley's 3. They are two completely different rums. Completely different. I really like that as well. But again, not a Daquiri rum for me. I'd quite happily sip this neat. This is a fantastic neat sipping rum for me. but too heavy for me in a daiquiri. I like it in a daiquiri. It's not that I wouldn't drink it. Of course I would. But I prefer a lighter, brighter, crisper daiquiri rum. But yeah, you know, Ganimal's nailed it. For me, if I was going to pick 2 out of 4 square, not Dawley's, but 4 square, it would be those 2 by a mile. Easily, the 47% version of that. I would have those 2 over the 12 and the 14, even though I appreciate that the 14 is a banger. Right, let's see if we can catch up here. There was a question earlier about a Brello. What was the question? I've been scrolling and I can't. Can't see a Brello. If you've got questions, don't forget, question in capital letters. I can't see a question about a Brello, so ask it again, but capital letters, question at the start. Rum hot tub. We'll talk about hot tubs. There's no questions there. I'm just skimming through these comments now. Right, Kevin's got a question because I can see question. That's how you ask a question. Question capital letters. Wine on the whole has moved from corks to screw caps for supermarket. With rum, there's more extravagant. The cork cap have any nod to the quality and content of the bottle? That's a very good question, actually, Kevin. I'm looking at this. The only screw caps I can see, actually, most of the Spanish, so Cuba, Puerto Rico, Dominican, most of those are screw tops. Wow, that's bizarre. I hadn't never noticed that before. Actually, Jamaica's got a big screw top influence. And obviously, St. Lucia. Yeah, kind of. So, Spanish influence aside, Cuba, Puerto Rico, Dominican, all that sort of stuff, I don't think it really matters. They're all screw top, except for Havana, which cork. Havana. What's it called? Selection de Maestro. I call it Cuban barrel proof. Sorry. Barcellos. For the Carnage. Yeah, I'd generally say the more expensive you go cork. What's the most expensive? I think the most expensive screw top I've got is the Cube. The Cube 10, 55 quid. Cork. Is there anything else on here? English. Oh, hang on. No, that's that. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I can't see anymore. So yeah, I'd go more expensive. Yeah. Right. Hide. Windy, would a drop of water bring out the orange peel? What was I tasting? There was something with orange peel. I've forgotten already. What was I drinking? Orange peel. Orange peel. What the hell was I drinking? Orange peel. Appleton 8. Was it that one? Yeah. Where's my water? I don't know. Couple of little drops of water. No. Let's go a little bit more water. So that was probably about 2 ml. Another. So we've probably got about 5 ml in total now. I would say the water in the Appleton 8 is actually bringing out more banana. It's a really, really fresh and ripe banana off there now. Still quite feisty. I mean, it's 43% ABV. All right, I'll put some more water in. Ralphie would be having a heart attack now. 7.5 ml of water. So you only need to drop. The aroma's definitely changed, but I wouldn't say orange. It's definitely a softer. I just get softer, fruitier banana off that Appleton 8. But that's interesting. I don't generally add too much water to rums. I should do, but then most of the rums are, because it's under 50 quid, most of the rums I do kind of taste are 40% ABV, 40, 43. When you're doing the big sort of 55s, 56s, you know, maybe even 60, then water does benefit those a little bit. But predominantly because of rum under 50 quid, I don't really need too much water with the rum. I haven't got any beast rums. Apart from the old, because I was bottling that up for someone earlier. There we go, 53. Yeah, I don't really have any beast mode rums. Right, any more questions? Let's catch up with these. Hello, Mr. Thomas. How are you? So why I'm laughing is because of that, and then Wendy's followed that up with that. Yeah, you're wrong. So look, this is what people kind of misprocess about what I say. Right, because, right, let's just try and clarify this for young Marky Thomas. Right. My whole channel and what I do in these tastings are trying to dispel the myth that you need to spend 50, 60, 80, £100 on rums. Right. I want to prove that there are some absolute bangers at 30, 35, £40. Sipping, cocktails, whatever. There are some absolute bangers. And I firmly believe that. I've proved that 3 or 4 occasions now. Right? But do not mistake that from me saying 80, 60, 70, 80, £100 rums and wasted in cocktails. That is not what I'm saying. I'm saying what you deem as your favourite rum, whether that's £25, whether that's £85, it doesn't matter the price. What you deem as your favourite rums will ultimately make the best cocktails for you. So, if you really like a £25 rum, right, if you really love, that was a bit more, wasn't it? £28. If you really love that rum, really love that rum, then I would argue if that's your favourite, you know, this is like, well, it's all right. I would. My point is, 25 quid, say 42, 43 quid, whatever the price of that is these days, the XO. That's going to make you a better cocktail than what that does. But if you really like that, or let's go next level, if you really like that over that, then that's going to make you a better cocktail. But of course it is. You know, that's just logic, absolute logic. It's not that it gets wasted. It's the fact you have to pick and choose what rums you love the most. If that's £25, they are going to make you the best cocktails. Do not get transfixed on price. Get fixed on what you like as a rum, or whiskey, or a gin, or not a gin, a tequila. You know, that is just simple logic. Simple logic. Right. Some people will frown at putting £50 rum in a cocktail. But if that's your favourite rum, if that's what you absolutely love, I will never, and I'll prove it all day long to everyone. As a bartender, I will stand there and I'll make you 2 drinks blind with your favourite rum and a rum considerably cheaper, and I will get you. You will. I know for a fact. I've done it so many times. I know for a fact you're going to pick your favourite rum. I'm not saying the more expensive rum. I'm saying your favourite rum. I know you will, unless you don't know what your favourite rum is. Right. Right, Louis. Question: what's your thoughts on the Real McCoy 12? Genuinely never had it, except for what did we do on the taste along? We did the limited edition 12, didn't we? See that one? Yeah, I've got a tiny bit left in the bottle. We did that, the limited edition on the taste along, Real McCoy. I've never bothered, purely because I've only got a little dreg left, simply because it's not a Foursquare brand. It is Foursquare rum, but it's not a Foursquare brand, and I've generally never bothered because I try and stick to brands, if you know what I like, and I try and stick to rums under 50 quid, or distilleries. Sorry, distilleries. That's what I should say. Just right, hang on a minute. I've just read the second part to that question. Just got a bottle on sale for £25, but how many? If you've got Real McCoy for £25, I would buy 10 of them and whack it on auction. Because there's no way in the world that's £25. You're talking 60, 70 quid easily, north of that, surely. So if you've seen it for £25, buy a case of it. That's what I'm going to answer there. Right. Everyone's tasted difference, whether it's 100 quid for a coat or a fully steak cooked. Exactly, Paul and Nerd. Exactly, right. Pam, by the time, yep, 100%. Cheers, Kevin Bouvray on toast for breakfast. Yeah, that's not a bad shout, actually. Bouvray chocolate liqueur on toast. Right, any more questions? But you like Cubate G. I know this was ages ago, 15 minutes ago. I can pretty much guess what I was talking about, but this is my point. They are not rums. Of course I do. I love them. They're great rums. I've never denied they're not great rums. And the 2 Cubes up there. But when I want a drink at home and I'm just thinking, I just want something, I never go for these. It's not, this is what I'm trying to get through to you, which a lot of people just do not comprehend. They go, I appreciate the quality. I know that they are fantastic quality rums. I'm not going to stand here like a dickhead, like some of you, and go, yeah, I appreciate the quality. I can tell the quality. I'm not naive enough to say they are not good rums. They are fantastic rums. My point is, which a lot of you need to get through your heads, for me personally, my point is, while I appreciate they are fantastic rums, they're not rums that I stand and think, I just fancy a glass of that tonight. I never come down of an evening, stand there and go, what am I having? Oh, yeah, let's have an Eldorado 15 or a Dawley's 40. Never. I always go for lighter aged rums. Always. There's a reason why that's been demolished. The second bottle of that. It's so easy going, light and easy. I would demolish that in a heartbeat. Neat. I just would. Flor de Carne 12, I would demolish that in a heartbeat. That's what you need to get through. I'm not saying that they're not great rums. I can fully appreciate the quality of the rum. I'm saying I prefer to drink lighter, younger rums. All right? You need to understand that. I love those Cubes up there. I do. if I'm being brutally honest, I mean, the white is fantastic. It's a 14-year-old. It's fantastic. It is. It's still 2/3 of the bottle up there easily because I never grab it. I will grab, I grab Kit's ninefold to drink neat over that. You know, it's not saying I don't like it. I do. It's just not my first thought because it's too much, too aged for what I want neat. And people get transfixed on that. People get transfixed on this rum needs age. You know, for a lot of people, rum doesn't need age. You've got to remember, I keep trying to say this time and time and time again. I love the taste of rum. Distilled rum off the still. I love that taste. When you start aging it and when you start like affecting it with barrels and that, the more effect the barrels had on that rum, the less I like it. Now the Cube Extra Viejo, or the Extra Añejo, sorry. No, the Viejo, sorry. The Viejo, 14 years, it's a white rum. It's been filtered. We know that. Of course that is. That's logic. And it's a decent rum. The 1870, you know, the Extra Viejo, 1870. Again, I love it. But out of everything, it is never my first thought. Never. So, you know, you need to get rid of that whole age thing out of your little brains and just think what I like and what I'm passionate about. You guys are different. You automatically, I know a lot of you like this, you automatically think that a rum needs 10, 12, 14 years to be any good. I'm completely the opposite. I love the taste of rum before it's unadulterated. That's why rum is brilliant, because there's a rum for all of us. With whiskey, you don't get that because it's not whiskey until it's aged. It's new make. And actually, I've tasted a lot of new make, and new make I actually quite like. It's when it becomes from new make to actually whiskey, I'm like, no, yeah, not a huge fan. But new make is actually all right. You know, I don't mind that. It's just my palate. Right. Stickins pancakes for breakfast. Right, where do we go? Is there any more questions? Question, there we go. Elgato Felix. Thoughts on the brand. I quite like Abuelo actually. Abuelo can be. I've only got the 7 here. I've had them many times. It's like the brand that's always at rum fests and all that. I've had them many times. Because of that, I've never invested in the cask finishes. Havana Stephen's in the audience, does. Steve loves them. I've got the 7 up here. I'll be honest, and I've tried the 12. And the 12 is for me better than the 7. And it's purely because it's less sweet, not because it's been in the cask longer. It's purely because it's less sweet. The 7 is quite sweet. But if I'm being brutally honest, I prefer Panama Pacific, which are, I just think, better rums. The 7-year-old Panama, is it 7? Sure it is. 5, 7. I think it's 7. I don't know. 9, 7, 9. Whichever one it is. I think it might be 9 actually, now I'm thinking of it. The Panama Pacific 9 is just lovely and light. And it's just a gorgeous, gorgeous rum. Really gorgeous. Bearing in mind the Panama Pacific up to 23-year-old, I think it is. And it's something weird because their 23-year-old is what I would call the equivalent of like a 12-year-old in normal standards. It's like a weird aging that they have. It's like the 9-year-old, I would put the equivalent to most brands' 5-year-olds. And it's, yeah. So Abuelo's a decent brand, really good. It's just a little bit too sweet for me. That's all. Little bit. I don't know. I quite happily have that in the 12. I quite happily have the 12. If the 12 was on offer in a pub or bar, I would quite happily buy it. Wouldn't be put off by it. It's just, it's not my go-to for some reason. I can't put my finger on it. That's all it is, really. Right, hide that. Any more questions? Just scrolling. I'm trying to catch up. I'm still 15 minutes behind at the moment. Ralphie, what did I say? Ralphie can't moan. He gets Mill and CL mixed up. Good old Ralphie. Ralphie's whiskey reviews are epic. 10 cane. Yes. Where's that 10 cane? 10 cane lost years. Well, it's not lost years, is it? Well, I don't know. Hang on. Oh, there it is. Yeah, that's how much of that 10 cane I've got left. You can tell that I like it. I appreciate it. It's just 63. It's not the ABV. It's just that it's too. It's not the ABV. It's just it's too much for me. That's for me a really heavy 13-year-old. Again, the quality of that is fantastic. It is a fantastic rum. I get everything about it. I'm not denying. I'm not one of these that go turn around and goes, oh, you know, don't like that. It's horrible. You know, I'm not built that way. I can fully appreciate that is a great rum. It's just got too much on it for me. It is quite petrol-y, quite solvent-y, quite rubber, quite. It's got the profile that I just don't enjoy. There's no way in the world, out of all the rums I've got here, there's no way in the world I'm looking at that going, oh, I'm going to have a glass of that tonight. I'm just not. But I ain't going to be stupid enough to deny the quality of it. And I know a lot of people do write off the quality of stuff just because they don't like it. Oh, it's rubbish rum. It's not rubbish rum. It's just that you don't like it. That for me is an epic rum. It would be that behind me. Of all the rums I've got, that wouldn't even make my top 50. Probably not even top 100. It wouldn't even be remotely close. Just way too cheery for me. But am I going to stand here and say that's a rubbish rum? No, of course not. I can taste the quality of that. It's just not my palate. That's all it is. Right. Elmo. Would you say any rum? Would you say that any rum under 30? Yeah, again, that's exactly what I'm about. You know, that just nails it in a nutshell. You know, I wouldn't even hazard a guess of how much that was a bottle. North of 100, I'm guessing. Any rum under 30 quid that's good for mixers. Elmo Elms, you let me know what your favourite mixers are, and I appreciate 15 minutes behind still on the comments. You know, even that, you know, stuff like that, depending on what your mixer is, ginger ale, Coke, Plantation 3 stars is a belter. Daiquiris, it is, you know. Plantation, you know, you're not going to go too far wrong with Plantation Dark. It's a cracker. It is. Where else? Under 30. Oh my God, cocktails. the boutique rum company. You know, your price 25 quid maybe. My trade price, you know, 18, 19 quid. Stupid money. It's a banger. Do you know what? Right, my hen parties, absolute and all right. And I don't mean this in a funny way, but they're hens, they're women. But the daiquiris and the mojitos, they go nuts for that stuff. They smell it. I've always got 3 bottles of this. Always. They smell it, they whiff it, and they're like, oh, I want that. It's like mango, it's like raspberry. 18 quid in the supermarket is an absolute belter. For daiquiris, for mojitos, for, you know, it is. I'm not going to be pompous enough and say, it's not that. It's a great rum that many, many people love. Cheap as chips. You know, you can't argue with general consensus. Right. What do we get to? Roy's gone 15 minutes ago, but thanks, Roy. I'll put it on screen. He's long gone by now. That was 15 minutes ago. Right, hi. Question, Marky T. I agree with the choice of rum in a cocktail for home use. However, selling cocktails with expensive rums. No, because you would put... Look, it's a bar. You are going to cost out your cocktails. So, you would... Look, you're going to... It depends on the bar. And it depends on the location. It depends on your throughput and all that sort of stuff. If you're the bar, and I've proved this time and time again, you know, to ego tenders that get transfixed by their geeky cocktails, you put a woo-woo on the menu, or even more like a strawberry woo-woo or a cherry woo-woo on the menu, that cocktail is going to make you more money by the end of the year than a Mai Tai, than a Daquiri. That woo-woo is your cash converter. Same as espresso martinis and porn star martinis. You cannot deny that. And if you argue that, you are completely and utterly wrong. So, in that respect, in your woo-woo, Smirnoff, Archers, cranberry juice, cherry, like a cherry puree, cherry syrup, a strawberry puree, strawberry syrup, you know, the cost price of that cocktail, £1.70, £1.80. You sell it for £8, £10, £12. That is your cash converter. And that's what bartenders and bars and pubs and chains need to appreciate and understand. And the big ones do. Be it One, do. Revolution, do. They get it. They're not fighting, you know, they're not fighting bankruptcy or low sales or anything like that. They 100% get the market. So would I put a £40 vodka in a woo-woo? No, there's absolutely no need. But if you're doing, it depends. If you're in a 5-star hotel bar, then your cocktail menu is geared up for £30 a cocktail, £25 a cocktail. So yes, you are going to use more expensive brands. But if you're in a high street bar, no, absolutely not. So you have to kind of understand that. You have to kind of understand consumer. Where do you see your grab and go 5 years' time? Will your palate mature? My palate has changed a bit, but I generally don't know, Kevin. I generally don't know. My palate has changed dramatically in 18 months since I've niched down into rum. It has. It'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see how much has changed in a year from now. 5 years, I've no idea. You know, in 5-10 years' time, will some of these agricole brands be around? Don't know. You know, they don't get the sales volumes. You know, they're not popular rums. Will UK rums come to the forefront? Who knows? Because, you know, people thought nothing of spending £40 on a bottle of UK gin. So why would they think anything of spending £40 on a bottle of UK rum? We just don't know. So, you know, people getting all high and mighty and pompous about it. But the fact is, for 5, 6, 7 years, the market has been £25 gin liqueurs, 30, 35, £40 gins in the UK. Gin is just, you know, gin is just juniper flavoured vodka. £40 for a gin and juniper flavoured vodka. And yet people have bought it week in, week out. Distilleries have gone massive. But of course, the arse has fallen out of gin and they're not selling as much as what they did do. So gin, you know, gin's going under. Will that happen with rum? People are going on about, you know, I wouldn't pay £40 for rum. The fact is, people have paid £40 for juniper flavoured vodka in the UK. And there's people talking in Discord about rum not being worth 40 quid. You know, it's just a blinkered viewpoint. It is absolutely blinkered and no comprehension of the market. They only comprehend it from their viewpoint. And that's what I try and instill in people. Try and get through to people. You know, you can have your views, you can have what you like and what you have like, what you don't like, but until you understand the market, which a lot of people don't comprehend, you're clueless and you're deluded. Will £40 spiced rum sell? Of course they flip it well. You're telling me that UK rums won't be able to sell their brands at £40? Of course they flip it well. It's just the next logical step. Will those cheapo, not cheapo, that's the wrong word. Will those spiced rums that have been infused with or flavoured with flavour compounds be here in 10 years' time? No, probably not. Will a brand that's done it properly and grown properly be here in 10 years' time? Yeah, why the hell not? You've seen it now with the gins. The cream of the crop, like your Masons have risen to the top. Just a small, local, little Yorkshire gin. And they're now one of the biggest gins in the UK. Little kind of one pot distillery, and now they're huge. Why can't UK rum be like that? People are too blinkered. People are too kind of narrow-minded of what can happen. And that is the point. So where will my palate be in 5, 10 years' time? Who knows? Absolutely, who knows? I don't think it will change that dramatically, to be fair. I don't think I'm going to be a 10-year-old, a 14-year-old kind of, oh, yeah, give me like a 20-year-old rum. Oh, yeah, it's nothing better than 20-year-old rum. I don't think I'll be there because my palate ain't going to change that much now to what it will be in 10 years' time. My palate would have changed between 20s and 30s and 40s, but not 40s, 50s, 60s. I'm pretty convinced of that. So, yeah. Question: if I had to choose one, sorry, I know this was ages ago. Sorry, Pam. Forza's lover, right? I can do this. you can tell. Forza sipping, love Forza. Forza is a great rum to sip, neat. The lovers, and I've spoken to David. I've spoken to David at length. It's the ultimate Daquiri rum. For me, it's not because I don't like that sort of vibe in a daiquiri. For those of you who don't know, Lovers is created by David, who is the ex-global brand ambassador for Bacardi. It's his recipe, his palate, his ultimate daiquiri rum. But the ultimate daiquiri, regardless of your viewpoints or whatever, the ultimate daiquiri is light, clean, crisp, bright, column still. Unaged column still. That is the ultimate daiquiri. Whether you like pot still is absolutely fine. You know, for you that might be that. But I'm just saying the unarguable, unquestionable ultimate daiquiri is light, unaged column still rum. That is what the daiquiri is. Now, if you want to go into pot still, if you want to go into plantation 3 stars, if you want to go into Jamaica, that is absolutely fine. If you want to take the Puss's painkiller and go into a light unaged rum, that is absolutely fine. But the Puss's painkiller or the painkiller is that generic oomph dark rum. If you're not using that dark rum with oomph, you're just not making a painkiller. That's not to say that a light rum ain't going to work. Of course it is, if that's your palate. But it ain't what the painkiller is about. And that's the same with the daiquiri. The daiquiri is all about that light, clean, crisp rum. And that, as much as he'd like to argue, Mr. Cordoba, I'm sorry, I love you, Dave, that ain't the daiquiri rum. For him it is, but for daiquiri, for the actual daiquiri, that ain't a daiquiri rum. So the Forza for me all day long. The Forza is an absolute belter. Love that. Love it. I think I forget the blends in here. What we got? We've got Barbados, Guyana, Jamaica, Guatemala, and Venezuela, and 47% ABV. I forget the highest age in it. I think there is like a quite high aged rum in this. I think there's like a 20-year-old or something in there. I can't remember now. But that for me, and that rings true because the Eldorado nearly capsized. That's fine. For me, the Black Tot is one of the best rums I've got. I love those multi-country, multi-island blends. And that, for me, is along Black Tot lines. It is. It's a great rum, Black Tot. Great, great rum. There we go. So, yeah, Forza for me. I just haven't found a use for the lovers. It's not quite there as a neat sipping rum. The Forza is. What? Forza is lovers. No, hopefully you've just realised that Forza isn't lovers. Don't know what that means. Hopefully you've just realised that. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Right. Panama Pacific, Felix, they are more expensive. I won't deny that. They are a lot more expensive than Abuelo. But for me, they just edge it because they're decent rum. Wow. I've just seen this. Sorry, I know that was 15 minutes ago still. I'm still 15 minutes behind. £160 for that. So I've got about 20 quid's worth. Sorry, G. As I say, I fully appreciate the quality. I get it. I get the quality. It's just nowhere even remotely close to a rum that I would pick up and sip. Not even remotely close. And that is where you are wrong, G. And I've proven this time and time and time again. That is a typical comment for someone that just doesn't understand the market. You can put a woo-woo in any bar up and down the country, 5-star, dive bar, it doesn't matter. That will always be your primary income. It doesn't matter. Absolutely doesn't matter. I don't care what you drink. You're looking at it from your point of view. You're looking at it from I drink martinis or what's it called? What's the alcohol drink? The tea punch. You're looking at it from your point of view. You are not looking at it from a market point of view. And I don't care because I know people so well. I've got friends in Cambridge that live in 5-star hotels. Absolutely lives, and they would drink, they would order sex on the beaches and woo-woos all day long over martinis. all day long. You have to understand the market, not your perception of the market. You have to understand the market. And that is what a lot of you don't do. All right. See you later, Alho. Pam. Question. Pam's on the OFTD. Look, she's got 2 U's. What are you wearing? I need to be sure I can recognise. Is that to me? You won't. You won't not recognise me. Come on, Pam. Clay's just summed it up in the next comment. Come on, Pam. Come on. Mark T. Mark Thomas. I like his questions. Right. Would you say rum is more geared to men and gin? No, I wouldn't. No, no, I wouldn't, because I always start hen parties off with daiquiris, and not once do they kind of, oh, I don't like that. There's not one person that ever doesn't. And traditionally, I do a 4-2-1 for a daiquiri as well. So not even 4-2-2. It's all geared up for a 4-2-1 daiquiri at the start, and it always goes down a storm. And you're talking like people that will go mojito, porn star, Sex on the Beach. Last night I did a hen party. Yesterday afternoon I did a hen party. Sorry, I should say. They went mojito, but then their choices were margarita and espresso martini. So even that classy palate, and they loved the daiquiri. The daiquiri at the start was their best one. So no, I wouldn't. Neat is difficult, but then how many people, male or female, drink neat spirits? You know, so you could argue that gin and tonics are female led. You could argue that. I don't think that's the case, because I see from a trade point of view, I see that gin and tonic is as much male dominated as what it is female dominated, but people don't see it from the trade point of view unless you're in the trade. People see it from an outsider point of view and think, oh yeah, it is female dominated. What I would say is that gin liqueurs are female dominated. So your 20% ABV gin liqueurs are definitely female dominated over men. But gin, no. So rum, no. You know, and this is the interesting thing, right? So when I just take the mojito on hen parties, for instance, and every hen party is different. You know, sometimes, like last night, I had mums and aunts, and I think the average age of the non-mums and aunts were 28-year-olds, 28 to 30-year-old females, right? I did more duppy. So bear in mind, I take bush mango, I take cargo cult banana, I take Hursty's 2 Swallows cherry, I take what else do I take? Coca Canu. I take what am I missing? Something else missing. Something else missing. I take those, right? So I've got those flavoured rums. Last night, that everyone went for that. It was just like, oh, that smells amazing. A couple of people went Havana, but most went that. Now, if you said that at a hen party, oh, they're going to pick mango rum, they're going to pick pineapple rum, they're going to do this coconut rum, you know, it just shows it's not. People get so transfixed about what they think the market is without actually realising what the actual market is. And it's a very big influencer that's kind of like that as well. They kind of think they know what they know, but they don't. They absolutely don't. There you go. Case in point. Case in point. Strawberry woo woo flies out of the horse box. Case in point. I'll send you a photo of last night, Scott. You'll tell, very classy. Oh, I've caught up. Everyone stopped commenting. Oh, that was easy, wasn't it? There we go. There we go. That was easy. Caught up my rants. You know, I'm quite happy with my rants. I don't mind putting people straight because people have this perception. People think what I have is perception, and it's not. What I have and what I speak about are facts. It's not my thoughts. It's not what I think. What I talk about is experience and fact. What a lot of people come at me with is their thoughts, their own perceptions. You can have your thoughts, you can have your perceptions, but you can't argue with facts. And trade is a very different thing to your own personal perceptions of what you think. And this is it. This is why a lot of people have got a lot to learn about the market. Now, I still get comments. I still get comments on YouTube, and it cracks me up from geeks and you know, from all this. These comments is like, oh, there's no market for spiced rum. There's no this, there's no that. It's tosh. The biggest market by a long, long way is spiced and flavoured rum. Oh, for those of you that don't realise, rum over 50 quid, super, now where we go, ultra premium rum, and I don't care how you classify it, how it's actually classified, ultra premium rum makes up less than 2% of the rum market, and ultra premium rum is rum over 50 quid. All right, it makes up less than 2% of the market of the rum sales. All the rum sales in the world, rum over 50 quid makes up less than 2%. All right, premium. So ultra, you go down to super premium. Super premium is roughly about 35 to 50 pounds. Doesn't matter how you class it at home. Doesn't matter. I'm telling you facts. Okay, ultra premium over 50. Okay, super premium 35 to 50-ish, give or take. Super premium makes up roughly about 5 or 6% of the trade, right? You then get premium, which is roughly about 25 to say 35 pounds. You know, super premium is then going up a little bit more. So you're sort of 10 to 15%. You know, sorry, premium is there. So super premium is the next one up. Premium is there. But you know, bog standard rum, your premium upgrade from rum is 25 quid. You know, that, yes, I know we'll get arguments. I know that'll be, oh, it's bog standard. That, whether you like it or not, is regarded as a premium rum. Because Bacardi or own brand, cheaper own brand, will just be normal rum. That is a premium upgrade. So you're then going, doesn't matter which one, you're then going, you know, super premium. Your Admiral Rodneys will be your ultra premium. Until you recognise that actually this market here is the biggest market for rum by a long, long way, before you even get to that, which is the next biggest. You know, these, where are we? This sales volumes pale insignificant to what this does. For every normal rum, one bottle of, sorry, for every I think you're close to 1,000. For every 1,000 bottles of normal rum, you are looking at probably, what, it's not even that. That's stupid. That's absolute stupid figures. I'll have to do the maths. You're probably looking at closer to 10,000. 10,000 bottles of normal, like under £25 rum, to a £50 rum. It's not even that close. And I know people are just going to be thinking, oh, he's talking out of his backside. I'm talking facts. All right? Regardless of your own personal opinions, you know, again, opinions, we can chat about opinions all day long, but you cannot argue with facts. Right. And I saw that. Marketing. I was late to party. What was a Clement on the bar? That one. That was D. That was the hang on, Mark. Oh, where's my mouse? There we go. That's what it was. Rum Ambre. There we go. That's the one. That was D, letter D tonight. There we go. Boom. Beck's still here. Yeah. Yeah, precisely. It's quite an interesting one, this, because I think you're kind of in a world where this is now not the thing. Pre-COVID, even as far as back as 2015, 2016, you would get rum and coke would be the answer, the kind of question, the barcode. Now you're getting quite brand specific. People will actually eye up the back bar or look at a menu. And that's the big change, because most places have actually got menus now. So no one really is going to say, can I have a rum and coke? They would scour a menu and kind of say, and ask, can I have Havana 7-year-old with coke, or have Havana 7-year-old with ginger, or something like that? Because they're in menus, we've kind of got away with this whole rum and coke thing. Village locals, because you can kind of see it on the back bar these days and not on optics, it's got away from rum and coke. I haven't got it, Bacardi's over there, but it's got away from people that think it's Bacardi, and then rum is rum, and we don't drink rum because we like Bacardi. It's got away from that. It has. There is more education out there than what there was. There's still not enough, nowhere near enough, but I think we've gone away from that. If I'm not giving you that, so we've done this. So what I'm part of is the Bartender Brand Awards. So we've done this. So I think I'm sure I've shared it in Discord, but I'll share it again if not. We've done the whole blind tasting as part of the BBAs. So we can give you the rums that bartenders kind of pick out. I'm sure I've shared that. If not, I'll share that. Remind me tomorrow, and I'll reshare that tomorrow if I haven't done it. I'll give you the whole BBAs, Bartender Brand Awards. I go out, never actually drink rum. Okay. Right, 11:15. It's quite a late one. I'm going to call it a night there. Thank you very much for watching. Hopefully, I've upset a few people. That was my intended aim in that last half an hour. There was a few people on that I wanted to really upset. because people just don't get it. People just think that they know best, and you can't argue. I'm not saying I know best. I just know facts. You can't argue with facts. You can argue your opinions all day long, but you cannot argue against facts. And that's what people don't comprehend. I come at it from a trade and a facts point of view. Yes, I have my opinions as well. My opinions are slightly different to trade and fact, but I will always come at it from a fact point of view. So yeah, hopefully there's a few people here that, I know there's a few that have been here that have been listening that kind of will just like, oh, he doesn't know what he's talking about. And that's absolutely fine. You can talk to those people until you are blue in the face and they just don't get it. They just don't comprehend the big wide world outside of their little bubble. They don't. But that's it at the end of the day. So hopefully we've upset a few people. Phil and Holly are ready to go live in the old Discord. So if you want to go to, this is still a members perk. If you're a member and you want to go and hang out with Phil and Holly for a bit, then you do so. They will be in Discord now. do you know your onions? I don't know my onions, actually. I know red and white onions, and that's it. But anyway, for those in the membership community, you go head over to Discord now, and there'll be no live show next week because it is Easter. I'm giving myself a little holiday. So yeah, but I will see you really, really soon. All right. Toodaloo.